Good morning, viewers, and we have our traffic report for you all this morning. As we get closer to the 8 a.m. hour, you can see the traffic getting a bit busy on the Colonel Highway. We are looking here at the Spring Garden traffic lights. Yes, that's at the NP gas station. You can see traffic moving east to west. Traffic coming off of the Orange Hill Road, heading westerly direction on the Claude Noel Highway as well. And you can see a number of cars streaming coming up easterly into Scarborough, waiting for their light to go green. It's starting to pick up quite a lot on the highway. It's still a bit free-flowing on that southern side of the Orange Hill Road heading into Scarborough, as well as on the Old Road heading towards Lambo. Viewers, get out of your houses, get out. Get into the car, get onto the road to avoid the traffic this morning. That was your traffic report by Tobago Updates.
Viewers, next we have joining us virtually, we have Reginald Mclean, President, Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, and hopefully all is well this morning. Thank you for having me on the program.
Now, the association has mentioned that this embargo between Trinidad and Tobago is a social and economic factor. Can you explain to the public why you chose those words so strongly in your press release?
Well, at the end of the day, this problem is a decades-long problem, and it needs to be solved once and for all. We have beautiful, spanking new airport terminal at Crown Point. This new government is in place around 9 months. We still can't seem to open that. I'm not sure if we're waiting for it to rot and fall apart before we open it. The sea transport is still a problem. I don't know why we keep renting a vessel for the cargo. We need to change that. We need to purchase, because we are throwing away money. But it comes back to one main thing. It comes back to maintenance of our vessels, our planes, everything that we have. Since COVID, we are yet to get back the 10 round-trip flights that we are still missing on the air bridge. And if a plane holds 68 people, that's 680 additional people that could travel one way to Tobago or one way back to Trinidad. So, Tobago needs to be dealt with if we really want to diversify tourism and get into tourism. All the other islands of the Caribbean are having double-digit growth, and Tobago is having negative growth because we are being stifled by transport.
So, Mr. Mclean, we're getting a sense of strong frustration from the pronouncements you're making. Is this the frustration of Mr. Mclean himself, or is it the frustration of the members of your association as well?
We have, it's the association, it's the members of the association. We have people that have zero occupancy now because of what has happened, the sea bridge with Carnival. We have people that have 18%, 19%. We have people that have 55%. It's affecting everybody from the small guest houses that have 1 or 2 rooms to the guest houses with 15 and 20 rooms to the small hotels, the bigger resorts, the villas, all types of accommodation. And the trickle effect of that is it affects all your restaurants, all the ancillary services, the guys going with guides up onto the waterfalls, onto the Tobago, the glass bottom boats. It affects everybody. So Tobago is being strangled. We've gone from a high of 94,000 international passengers a year to 18, 20,000. 2024 was 24,500. Last year, I'm not sure the exact figure yet. I'm still waiting on it. But I think it's going to be lower than 2024 because of the state of emergencies, etc. So at the end of the day, do we really want tourism in Trinidad and Tobago? Do the people of Tobago really want tourism? And I'm making that call again because we not too sure if they want that. But when you look at the unreliable ANC transport, that really stymied Tobago to the point of an economic and social embargo, because it constrains livelihoods, it suppresses tourism growth, and denying Tobagonians all the certainty and connectivity that they deserve within their own nation of Trinidad and Tobago. So let's fix it. Let's buy a new vessel instead of renting one to do cargo, because we're spending more money than that. I guess after 2 years of rental, we should have been able to purchase our own vessel. So why are we constantly doing this? The maintenance is not happening as it should. Why are we taking the catamaran off right before Christmas to do major 5-year maintenance in the middle of the peak winter season? Why are we in January taking the second vessel off of the run for the same major maintenance? Why can't these things be shifted to September, October? But I wouldn't even say October because of Tobago Carnival. But why can't we shift these things to times when Tobago is not as busy and do this type of maintenance? Why constantly allowing this to happen? It's time for it to stop. It's time for the powers that be to do their job and get Tobago back on the map when you look at other islands that are double-digit increases. So we need to fix it.
From an investor's perspective, what does the unreliability in connectivity mean for doing business here in Tobago?
If you were an investor, would you come to Tobago? It's really disheartening as to what is happening, especially when this government has made a commitment to diversify into tourism. And tourism, we have a lot of low-hanging fruits here on the island that makes it easy for Tobago to become a foreign exchange earner. But every time we make one step forward, we are getting pushed back by something else. It's time for the government, both T.H.A and central government, to sit down and at the table together with the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association, that is the largest private sector organization in Tobago, and sit down with the Tobago Chamber and let us come up with a proper plan of the way forward for tourism. But when it is disjointed in Trinidad and disjointed in Tobago, we are not getting anywhere, and that's the reality of it. Starting to throw punches now because it's getting frustrating.
So, Mr. Mclean, you raised issues with the airports, which is the air bridge, the sea bridge, as well as I believe you also raised issues with the various SOEs and stuff. So your frustration seems to be aligned a lot with central government policies concerning that connectivity to Trinidad. Has the T.H.T.A reached out to the central government to have conversations with them?
We have had some conversations. We're still waiting on central government to make the commitment. We're still waiting on the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago to come and visit with us here in Tobago and really sit down with her key people to really go through what is happening here. 9 months in power, and sorry, it's not happening. And if you want tourism to really move, the Prime Minister needs to get over here and sit down with us, sit down with the T.H.T.A, and let us all thrash it out and try and fix tourism and make sure it works.
The release acknowledges interim measures taken by the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. Why does the association believe these measures fall short in terms of bridging the gap for Tobagonians?
Okay, so if you look at the Sea Bridge right now, for too long, you can't even book 3 months, 6 months, 8 months in advance. You could only book 3 weeks in advance, 4 weeks in advance. So if you're a tourist, or whether it be a Trinidad tourist coming here or a Tobago tourist going to Trinidad, and you want to plan a vacation, why can't we book a year in advance like the airlines do, right? Yesterday, the schedule came out till the end of February. It has one vessel on it, which is the APT James. I understand this morning that the Buko Reef became available and some stuff is coming over to Tobago. But these last minute things just can't work. Let us start scheduling things properly so that people can book. I can't get my vehicle here from the hotel over to Trinidad and get it back on the same day right now because it's not available. It's the same thing for getting people that come on the air bridge. Saturday gone, there was absolutely nothing available to get to Tobago. And Carnival, you're looking at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's 0 flights available, right? So that's an embargo.
So, Mr. Mclean, what are the next steps for the T.H.T.A to get the attention of the central government that you also you have been trying to get for the past few months? What is the next steps to get the attention of the central government so that you all can have these conversations so that you could understand the plight from a stakeholder's perspective?
If the central government is not willing to put tourism people onto tourism boards to deal with Tobago tourism, how are we going to make tourism in Tobago work? And that's the reality of it. You have Airports Authority, Civil Aviation, and a lot of different boards that deal with tourism, and we're not making any headway with it. It's almost like to hell with Tobago with what is going on there. And, you know, it's just not workable at this point. You talk to anybody that's in tourism in Tobago, and every single person is frustrated with what is going on. The statistics are all skewed because when passengers land in Trinidad on international flights, right, we don't know what is coming to Tobago because then they become a domestic passenger coming to the island. So the truth is, from the statistics point, there's no way of us for really understanding where Tobago stands. We know where Trinidad stands. We know Trinidad's tourism is getting better, but we have no idea at this point in time where Tobago tourism is going.
Mr. Mclean, we've spoken about how the disadvantages disrupt Tobagonians' flow, especially in terms of tourism, and the many other things that we rely on here when we are relying on the connectivity. Now, in your view, what does reliable and sustainable transportation framework look like for Tobago going forward? Once the governments come together and put together a framework moving forward that works substantially for the Tobagonians, and not just Tobagonians, but for Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, the reality is that we have to fix things with the domestic air bridge. If you've ever tried to cancel a Caribbean Airlines flight, a domestic flight, it is impossible to do it online. And when you have to wait an hour and a half to 2.5 hours to get through to Caribbean Airlines to cancel, people are not prepared to do that. The cancellation fee of $50 TT is not in international standards. That needs to be looked at, and the booking system needs to be looked at, because at the end of the day, bookings can be available, but you have people that are doing double bookings, and the system is not picking it up and putting out red flags that it's a double booking. So there's a lot of things there to be fixed. The Sea Bridge, we need to have a schedule 6 months to a year in advance that people can book. Because if I'm coming to Tobago in August, I would like to book now for August so I can plan my vacation. It is easier for me to go to Barbados or Grenada or Miami or New York than it is to come to Tobago. And that's been a perennial problem. I came here in tourism back in 1989, and that has been the problem since before I came here, and it has not been fixed to date. Sit and meet with the people who are in the industry and let us have conversations and let us come up with the plans of how we move forward with tourism. Because at the end of the day, if tourism thrust is our diversification, we have to make sure that it is. But at the same time, do we want tourism in this country? Do we want tourism in Tobago? Because we're not sure with how it's going if we really want that.
All right, we want to thank you very much, Mr. Reginald Mclean, President of the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association, for coming on and speaking with us for what his organization deems as a social and economic embargo on the island of Tobago. Viewers, we want to thank you very much for sticking with us throughout the hour. And before we close off, we just want to give you one last traffic report. Yes, we're going to give you one last traffic report for those of you who are coming out of your houses very late. And we are here at the Wilson Road traffic light. You can see the traffic is building up going east to west and west to east along the Claude Noel Highway. We also see a lot of traffic going right back up to Immigration Department along Plymouth Road. So it might be a little too late for you, but still you have to head out to work. So get out of your door, head into your vehicle and get to work. Or if it, taking taxi, get out the road, stick out your finger and get to work. Get to work, get to work. It might be a little bit late, but it's better to reach to work at 8:15 or 8:30 than to reach to work at 9 and 9:30, and then you have to go for breakfast and eat breakfast and all kind of things. Get out your house. Get out your house right now and get to work. All right, viewers, that's all for the Tobago Updates morning show. We want to thank you for viewing with us. But the programming on Tobago Updates does not end. GMT is up next with Chanel Felix. So do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. GMT is up next.